Yes, we love that. We love that. ELNENYYYYY with the strike. Oh, beautiful scenes of glorious emotion. I'm stealing his lines. Oh, he's infected me with his ways. Oh, what a frustrating watch along that was. Anyway, fantastic result. Arsenal 3, Olympiacos 1 in Greece. We're going to get your thoughts, your comments, and your lovely thoughts and feelings in just a second. Hello and welcome to the Gooner Talk. Back again with you guys for another show, for another episode of our Raw Reaction series, where we react to the latest Arsenal news, transfers, and of course, matches in which Arsenal, as I've already said, have come away with a victory in Greece, in which now Olympiacos will have to score at least 3 goals at the Emirates Stadium next week in order to take their place in the last 8, it is, for a quarterfinal. And yeah, I mean, oh, dearie me. We do like to make things difficult for ourselves, don't we? There's different ways that we can look at this. There's things that we can talk about with the game. We can talk about individual performances. We can talk about the fact that we were fortunate at the end to score the goals that we did. But what I want to talk about is the fact that I actually thought, take away the moment of madness, the moment of stupidity, the moment of just repetition that we see over and over and over again at Arsenal, just stewing. And if you actually look at the game, we played and dominated the match overall, and I was very, very happy overall with how things go, and that is how it goes when you end up winning. And that's probably how I would have felt after the Burnley game had we had taken a victory in that match too. But ultimately, we took the victory in this game. We're going to get your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Let's get the flying fish flying about in the chat box, people. And we're going to get some of your thoughts and comments, and we're going to read through plenty of them this Thursday evening. Let's scroll up to the top and see. Zamir says, El Messi. Michael Velasquez says, I legit thought this was going to be a Burnley all over again. You're not alone, mate. And I called it on a huge show. I was saying, this feels like Burnley. This feels like Burnley all over again. Ansgar says, really boring game, and I don't like the lineup, but the result is all right, so we can't complain, I guess. ELNENYYYY deserves this, in my opinion. Dave Lennon says, I wanted Prime Messi to come on and win this game, lol. And he did. He did come on. Gabriel is the Brazilian beast, towering header in the game. Really good to see him back and scoring. Obviously, as a centre-back, you don't get to do that much often. But he has been an aerial threat. He scored that header against Fulham. He scored as well another... I'm trying to think what the other goal was. I'm sure it was a towering header again. But yeah, he's just a threat in the box. It's something that our centre-backs have got with him and Marie. Our right-hand side, not as much. Although, I'm saying that, Louise did score a header against Leicester now I think about it. But yeah, fantastic header from Gabriel. Was absolutely fantastic. Rancis says, great win, but we are very good at messing things up. Yes, we're going to try and avoid that. We've got to try and avoid it. Ben Fawcett says, I love our team, then I hate our team, and then I love them again. Mental. Alex Robertson says, if we can eradicate these mistakes, we'll walk the top 4 next season. Jashar says, Tom, watching Arsenal is painfully emotional. Han Yumi says, terrible game. We got lucky. I don't think we got lucky. I think, if anything, again, there was bad luck in the sense we made that silly mistake. The goals we scored were good. Really good goal from Erdegaard. Goalkeeper probably should have gone a little bit better. Gabriel's header, unsavable, amazing header. Great cross from Willian, of all people. That, again, another selection, another assist for Willian, justifying his pick once again. And then you have ELNENYYYY with the final goal, which is just, yeah, unbelievably good. Would I start him on the North London derby? No, I wouldn't. Not a chance in hell would I do that. Dave Lennon says, what an absolute mental game that was. Daniel Roberts says, we all called ELNENYYYY on the Discord, all wanted him to come on to help us win instead of bringing on Laka or Pepe. I don't think you're telling the truth, Dan. I don't think you're telling the truth at all. In fairness, Bellerin was okay, and I'm assuming that's in response to Kian, and it is indeed saying Bellerin was unreal. He was all right. He was pretty good today, Bellerin. He got into some good positions. He put a really good cross in the first half, in the first few minutes, actually, that we probably should have done a bit better from. And he got into those attacking positions, got the a couple of the overlaps and the 1-2s and the cutbacks, and he was trying those. So, yeah, he looked a lot better today, Bellerin, honestly. It was good to see that he did that again. Paul Gooner says, we won. That's what counts, Tom. Get in. Exactly. You're spot on, mate. Glenn Cook says, man, so quickly how your mood can change as an Arsenal fan. Shake my head. Taz says, which channel do you do watch-alongs? Hugh Izzy. Always on with Hugh when it's not an early kickoff, so make sure you check out the watch-alongs. Ed Welch says, being honest, though, we need to understand there are some situations when playing out is simply not doable. Happy with 3 away goals and some individual performances. Okay. In your honest view, chat box, light up the comments with your thoughts about, in that moment, the mistake. Is this on Leno for you, or is this on Ceballos? I have a lot of sympathy for Leno, as I always try to do. They're taught to do this. They're taught to play out the back. They're told to do it. They're instructed to do it. And when Ceballos receives the ball, he has a poor touch, and then he makes a poor decision to turn into the Olympiacos player. I think it was El Arabi. I have sympathy. I do. I have sympathy for Leno in this. And Ceballos, yeah. But I understand the point of view about Leno. I get it. I get people are frustrated because he's done it now 2 games in a row where he's passed it into a player that's under pressure. But I just have that sympathy. I just do. I can't help it. I can't. I know. I can't help it. I really can't. Anyway, let's see what you guys are saying. Leno. Leno, thank you, Encore, for the donation, mate. Bellerin renders his wingers obsolete, he says. Leno. Okay, I get it. I get your point. Okay, I get it. You think it was Leno. That's fair enough. We're all entitled to our opinions. Oh, dear. I get it. Maybe I need to see it back a few more times. Yeah. I hear you. I understand. He's done it 2 weeks in a row, and I just had the sympathy because obviously he's taught to do that. And that's where I have that level of sympathy for him. So, yeah. Deary me. I blame Canada. Why? Why are you blaming Canada? What's Canada done? What else are we saying? Samir says, you blame Leno for both, or you blame Xhaka and Ceballos for both. I suppose I think there is more to blame for Leno on the last one, sorry, because I feel like he could just lump it up the pitch in that one, and there's more pressure on Xhaka. I don't think there's as much pressure on Ceballos where it's passed to. Let's see if anyone's saying anything different. Ronnie says Ceballos could have done better for me, but maybe there were better options. The Burnley game wasn't his fault, however. Let's see what you're saying on this one. TP says Ceballos, a poor touch and terrible decision because Leno is asked to play it out all the time. Even after the goal, he was still playing it out from the back. They're committed. They can't say they're not committed. They're committed to this. They really are. What's Dan saying in the chat? Is he mugging me off? Dan says, had Partey still been on the pitch, that goal wouldn't have happened. Yeah. I mean, I don't know I don't think that Partey was brought off. I mean, I don't know why he was put. The only reason I can kind of come to with that is that it must have been because he was trying to kind of protect him ahead of the game at the weekend, and feeling that I think of that we were winning at that time. And so it made sense maybe bring him off, bring Ceballos on, keep him fresh for the game on Sunday. But I found it weird how we barely made a change. How there was we didn't rest barely anyone else. Saka was brought off basically at the end of the game, 10 minutes left. It really, really was a bit strange how long it took to get the subs onto the pitch. I thought we would have made changes way sooner. And then when I saw that he was coming on, I don't really understand the decision to bring ELNENYYYY on, which I know in hindsight, and with the benefit of seeing him score that goal, makes complete sense why you would bring ELNENYYYY on. But I did question it at the time, and I was like, why are we bringing ELNENYYYY on here? What's ELNENYYYY going to do? And that's clearly what he's going to do. He's clearly going to just run absolutely unchallenged and score an absolute screamer. So there you go. JD says, last week, Xhaka wasn't really pressured, had loads of time, but this time Sabas had 2 opposition players really close, and Nano made the worst option when he had others free. Tibo Pest says Partey wasn't great today. He's saving himself for the North London derby. Again, yeah, I don't know what it is about Partey at the moment. He's just not. He's not the same Partey that I have seen. He might be having a dip in form. He's had these injuries. They've clearly affected him. Hopefully, he can have the big game of the weekend. But he's not doing the same kind of progression that we saw when he first came in. That take the ball, run, progress past the other opposition, intercept passes. He hasn't, he hasn't been that level. But no player is going to be playing on 100% of the time. There is going to be a dip. This might be just that little bit of a dip, to be fair. Ajit says Sabah should be doing better. Chris says, I do like the team reaction to the second and third goals. Seem genuinely happy for each other. If you haven't dropped a like on the video, guys, please make sure you do that. David Key says, go on, Tom. I wonder what you said when El Perlo came on. Yeah, David, honestly, I said on the thing, I said, I don't know why he's coming on. I don't know what he's going to give us to win the game. And I still believe that. I think it's obviously it's out of this world. Not out of this world. It's a very good strike, but it's unlikely that happens. It's very unlikely that happens. We scored 2 screamers in one game. I can't imagine what the XG must have been for this game. It must have been absolutely ridiculous. Matt says, Tom, I love Partey, but it's not a dip in form if he's only played a total of around 27 minutes all season. Again, I think you've raised a good point, Matt. I think it's more down to a lack of sharpness, a lack of regularity, and still trying to build himself up to playing regularly in the team. And when you have these moments where you are taken out of the team and you can't string 3 consecutive starts together, which hopefully you can do against Spurs when he does play against them this weekend, fingers crossed, then that is going to, obviously it's going to have a big impact on how fluid you are and how coherent you are and how you can kind of go into those things. Suraj says, Tom, talk about Luiz's moment of madness. Oh, yeah, what was he doing? Why are you doing that? It makes no sense. I just don't. Why are we just trying to shoot ourselves in the foot over and over and over again? It's so frustrating. Matthew De Souza says, we look way off winning this competition. We need a huge luck with how the draw pans out. Yeah, hopefully we can get like a more favourable option in the next round. There's some teams that I would hope that we could beat in there. Like Ajax are probably going to go in there. It'd be really interesting to get Villarreal. If we got Villarreal in the next rounds, that would be. There's so much narrative in that draw. Ed Welch says it's like we've got an acca on every match to not keep a clean sheet, which is so weird because defensively we were so good at the first half of the season. That was our thing, that we were defensively solid and we couldn't score to save our lives. And then this is, yes, it's just changed. We've sacrificed that. We've sacrificed it, and I don't know why. Mr. Joe Kerr says Bellerin or Cedric for the North London derby. I'd still choose Cedric personally. I think that defensively he's going to offer more than what... I mean, Bellerin was turned inside out against Son at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, so you have to think about that. He might even go Chambers. You never know, because he maybe is more solid defensively than what Bellerin is. Can we get an ELNENYYYY emoji, says Ivan. Ivan's not even a member, and you're asking for emojis in the chat. Yeah, mate. If you sign up to be a member, maybe we'll go out of our way and get some ELNENYYYY emojis. Efair says Bellerin made the same mistake too late on. I can't understand why they tried to reverse the pass infield when the opposition are pressing. I don't understand why we make so many errors in our own half. Omar, 3 goals away from home. It's absolutely huge. It is big. Obviously, it does take a lot of pressure off us for the next leg. It's what I wanted. It's what I asked for. I said, can we kill this? Maybe we haven't killed the game, but we certainly have gone a long way to putting ourselves into the quarterfinals of the competition. Absolutely. Cole says, Tom, nice to look ahead, but we are not through yet. We are Arsenal, of course. David says, it's so annoying, Tom, but I still worry about the second leg. Tell me how you're feeling, people. How are you feeling in the chat about this? Do you feel like we're through? Is it a case of you're just still nervous? Tell me, what are you feeling? Give me your honest emotions. Yannick says, you asked Tom, how long has Arteta been here for? And Tom said, one summer window. It's true. I didn't lie, Yannick. It's true. He has. That's how long he's been here for. One summer window. That's the honest truth, mate. It's the honest truth. Pranjal says, I can't decide man of the match. Who is yours? Hugh went for Gab. I lean a little bit towards Odegaard. I thought Odegaard was excellent. I thought he had a really, really excellent game. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Real Janice says, our last 5 conceded goals have been from unforced errors. I mean, yeah. And that's something that we need to move out of the team with personnel at the end of the day. And we need to move on from these. We need to move on from Granit Xhaka. We need to move on from Danny Ceballos. We need to move on from David Luiz. We need to move on from these players. Hector Bellerin, we need to move on from these guys. And when we do, hopefully these mistakes will not be anywhere near as frequent as what they are. It's not something I feel you can coach, because the excuse to say that this tactics behind playing out from the back has caused these mistakes. Playing out from the back is not. It's not an unorthodox tactic. And I know that some people might turn around and say that you shouldn't do it in every single instance, and you should have the common sense to kick up the pitch. And I do see sense in that argument. The problem is that we have scored from playing out from the back several times this season. And it's all about personnel for me. It's not something that you go to Arteta, oh, that's Arteta's fault because he's passed it into Ceballos and he's coaching them to do that. The players should be better. You're a professional footballer and you shouldn't be playing the ball either in that position in that way. And that's the strength of the pass. And when Ceballos gets it, he should be taking a better touch and he should be knowing what to do it more comfortably. And then we should defend that situation better. There's a lot more to it than just that. Shut up, Janice. Stop this. It's not sticking. Patrick says, why are the players so scared? Honestly, mate, it's a lack of confidence. It really, really is. It really is a lack of confidence, mate. And says, Olympiacos are not good. Nothing to worry about in the second leg, apart from us shooting ourselves in the foot. We need to be smarter. I disagree in the sense that Olympiacos aren't good. I think Olympiacos are a decent side. I mean, they went out in the last round and smashed PSV. So I don't think that it's a case of they're a bad team. I think they're okay. I just don't think we should be comfortably getting past them, is the honest truth. David says, Tom, that header from Gabriel was amazing. Would we consider giving credit to Willian, only asking for a friend? Of course we give credit to Willian. And again, he's popped up with another key moment where he's found that pass. He's found that assist when it really counted. And that's another game in a row. He's got the assist against... he got the assist, obviously, against Olympiacos tonight. He assisted Aubameyang against Burnley. He assisted Pepe against Leicester, and he assisted Tierney against Benfica. That's 4 assists in 4 games for Willian. And he probably will start the North London derby, which for some people might say. And I got absolutely battered in Hugh's chat today for talking about Pepe and saying who would I start. And for me, I still would start. I would, based upon the whole season, in the context, you go, yeah, Pepe makes more sense because he's had more better performances. But the fact of the matter is, Willian has 4 assists in 4 games. And that isn't something you can ignore. And that is why we brought him in, because he creates chances and he creates moments like that. And he's not done well at the start of the season. He's not been good at all. Fact. The fact of the matter is that now he is starting to turn things. And so to change that would be, in my opinion, it's a risk. It's a risk to take him out because you might not get those moments. And that's the problem. Richard says, any thoughts on why Martinelli isn't playing? We get this question every week. And honestly, mate, you don't need to worry about it. It's not something you need to worry about. The kid's 19 years old. He's 19. There's players ahead of him in the pecking order. He's had a big injury. And there will be times. I imagine that he'll get a chance against Olympiacos now. I feel like this is one of those games now where we've got a chance to play Olympiacos. They have to score 3 away goals. I imagine if he doesn't play against Olympiacos, we will have a more honest discussion about this, because Arteta has talked about how he needs to find the right games for him to play. That is an opportunity to play Martinelli in the second leg. For me, it's not a risk. If you're putting him with Lacazette, if you're putting him with Pepe, it's not a risk for me to play Martinelli in that game. It's just not. And he should be given the opportunity to play in that game, 100%. Texas Goodness says tonight's lineup was strange, but it worked. Subs made an impact as well. 3 away goals. Let's take it and keep it moving. Wilson says, yo, Tom, I hope that you are staying safe and doing well. And thank you, mate, Wilson. Much appreciated. When you work from home, you're cornered off. You're in your bubble. But I've got my day off tomorrow, and it's going to be nice to get outside and go for a walk, get some fresh air, and that is what is needed. Janice says, I've backed Arteta all season, but I'm sick of Willian starting. He just shouldn't be, in my opinion. It's tipping me over the edge. Janice, 4 assists, 4 games. What more can you want? What more can you want? I think it's genuinely it's something to think about. I understand your frustration. I get it. I understand it. But 4 games and 4 assists is something you can't ignore. Hypervenom says, I wouldn't be worried about Martinelli right now. He's only 19 and he's had a big injury. Plus, there are a lot of players that will stay ahead of him. Exactly. Wilson says, the bottom line is that Arsenal have won the game, which is the most important thing. Ben Forza says, should we play the same team on Sunday? Which is a good question. The only tweaks that I would make is Cedric for Bellerin, maybe Chambers to try and deal with the Son threat on the left-hand side. And maybe thing is, Ødegaard's played a lot of football. He's played a lot of football. Smith Rowe has had a rest. Obviously, he had an injury, but he's had a rest. He's fresher, arguably. Should Smith Rowe come in? I don't know. It's a tough one. Let me know what you think. Would you make any changes for the game on Sunday? We will, of course, have the preview show for the North London Derby on Saturday. Expert members, TGT ambassadors in the Discord server. If you would like to come on the show for the preview, of course, make sure you let me know in the Full Prices chat. And there is only hours left of the signed Patrick Vieira shirt that is available. Tickets are in the description at Football Prizes, so make sure you get your ticket in before they go. Let's get a few more of your comments before we wrap things up. Richie says, we need to stop beating ourselves. We can't keep needing to score 2, but we were very good for about 60 minutes of the game. O'Malley says he would play Emile Smith-Rowe against Spurs. Patrick says he'd play Pablo Marie. Tom Canton Esquire says mud. I mean, there's a lot of people that are in the mud tonight. That is what is for sure. Dawson says ELNENYYYYY should start more often. He is less mistake prone. I'm sorry, Dawson. I don't agree with you. He scored a very good goal tonight, but he's bang average. Guys, I'm just being real. He's bang average for me. He's just an average footballer. I can't. Yeah, I just can't. Fair play. Scored a great goal. Congratulations. I really appreciate it. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. But he's average as a footballer. He's average. Let's be real. Come on. He's not better than Xhaka. It's just, this is what it is. It's what it is. You can dislike Xhaka all you like. But ELNENYYYY's not better than him. It's not better than him. It's just fact. Ife says, lol, if none of us saw Willian in the first half of the season, we wouldn't be calling for him not to start now. Let's be happy none of our forwards are in horrid form. It's a good point. It's very true. If you base Willian off just the second half after Christmas, I don't think we would be having the same discussion. I genuinely believe that's a fantastic point. Harry Evans says, how realistic is it that we could sign Ødegaard in the summer? Am I getting my hopes up because I want this kid to stay? Best MO11 I've ever seen. I don't think our chances are far-fetched, but I don't think that they're like really high. I think there's a chance. It'll depend on how he does before the end of the season. But if he carries on like he's playing, I would be very much inclined to, be like, let's go. Let's do it. Let's sign Ødegaard. It makes sense. Let's do it. Daryl, you really want to get this point across that Saka was poor today. He looks tired. I think that he's lacking a little bit of sharpness. He does look tired. He's another young player. He's 19. He's been playing well above what you usually would expect. from a player of that level. You know, oh, Declan, you tried to mug Arsenal off and then you made a spelling mistake, so you look like a mug. Sorry, mate. Sorry. Just, you made a spelling mistake. You might have actually been able to mug us off, but you mugged yourself off. Deary me. But I get the ideas around Saka was poor. He wasn't amazing. But why do we always need to just come out and say that someone has to be poor? Why? Why do we have to do it? Why does it always have to be pointing out the negatives? Let's focus on the fact that we've won today. We've won. We scored 3 good goals. We're through. And that's the most important thing. Please drop a like on the video today, guys. I really appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. UK time for Let's Talk Arsenal. I'll be having a discussion about plenty of stuff. I'm sure that's going to be happening over the next day. You'll be reacting to a lot of what Arteta says. There'll be some news. And, of course, it is the chance to throw all of your possible questions in. It's our chat show, our 5 p.m. chat show every single Friday. So make sure you tune in for that. Make sure you drop a like on the video as well. Really appreciate your time. And of course, if you want to see my live reactions to the goals, then you just need to go over to Hugh Izzy's channel and you can see our watch along together, which was a lot of fun. But it's been a lot of fun to speak to you guys. As always, drop a like, drop a subscription. Make sure you hit that notification button and join up as a member to get exclusive stuff. Join our Discord server and get access to emojis. And there's lots more coming, I promise. See you again very, very soon, guys. Up the Arsenal. Absolute legends with that performance tonight. Mohamed ELNENYYYY, who thought? We'll see you again very, very soon. And as always, up the Arsenal.